Hello, Daphne here with a short story for you that comes from Africa. One of the most amusing stories that I can remember from all my trips to Africa. The title of this story is Drunk as a Skunk, an elephant story. Now that's quite a combination, but you'll learn why that is an appropriate title as we go further into this description of my husband's and my safari to Chief's Camp in the Okavango Delta of Botswana. Oh, how I love safaris. I love Chief's Camp. If you ever get a chance to go to Africa, make sure you sign up for Chief's Camp because it's under Sanctuary Lodges, which is owned by Abercrombie and Kent. And it's a gem of a safari camp, period. I loved it. I've been there several times. It's the greatest. Anyway, so my husband and I loved going on all the safaris that were conducted out of Chief's Camp. But we also enjoyed the lodge's manager, a British gentleman with a wonderful sense of humor and just as amusing as he could be. So we look forward to our evenings with him because he was a great storyteller. Anyway, one night at dinner, we found out that our manager had really sort of a sad story to tell. He had lost, well, not lost, lost is completely the wrong word. He had his beautiful, huge Rhodesian farm confiscated by Mugabe, the evil dictator that had taken over Rhodesia and changed its name to Zimbabwe. He lost everything. I mean, it was just a tragic story. And this very night happened to be his birthday. And he was sad because he was there alone out in the middle of nowhere. His wife was back in England and his farm was no longer. So even though he was helping out Abercrombie and Kent by being a manager of this magnificent lodge, underneath it all, he was sad. So that was too bad to hear about that. But this particular night, it happened to be his birthday. So we sat up with him and stayed up much later than we usually do because safaris start very early in the morning. But we wanted to be with him to help him celebrate his birthday. So we had one drink after another, and, finally it got to be quite late, and I said to my husband, we got to go. We got to get some sleep because that 5 o'clock wake-up call is going to come very soon. So off we went. Anyway, our manager, we said goodnight to the manager, and said we'd look forward to see him in the morning. The next morning at breakfast, our manager, who is just so full of good stories and has a way, you know how there's certain people that just are storytellers? Well, he was one of them. And the story that he had to tell was absolutely very amusing. But first I want to say that the safaris that we took out of Chief's Camp were absolutely spectacular. To see giraffes, hippos, lions, leopards in their natural habitat and up quite close was absolutely a wondrous experience in every sense of the word. There is just something amazing and special about being out on the plains, the savannas of Africa, and having these wonderful opportunities to not know what's around the next corner. Then all of a sudden you'll see a leopard up in a tree, or a lion walking across the field, or a giraffe eating the leaves off of a very tall tree. Every single animal we saw, to me, was absolutely priceless. And I just love the magic of Africa, period. End of story. So anyway, that was our experience at Chief Camp. Just wonderful, wonderful safaris out in the wilderness. And everyone was just that much more special than the one before. So getting back to our intrepid manager. After we had left him the night before, celebrating his birthday with plenty of drinks for everyone, our new friend, decided it was time for him to go to bed too, so he made his way back to his lodge. Along the way, he told us, he ran into a brick wall, obviously a little tipsy, and was thrown to the ground. As he composed himself and looked up, there was this gigantic elephant. He had had one too many drinks, and he had walked right smack into the back of an elephant. Now, mind you, the feet of elephants are huge. One stomping on this man would have made him a goner for sure. But somehow he managed to pick himself up, dust himself off, and head to his room. The next morning, we were all in regales of laughter as he told us the story of how he was drunk as a skunk. But it ended up being, as I mentioned in the title of this story, it ended up being all about a great big elephant in his path. Now, mind you, these lodges have no fences. They don't have any barriers. You know, lions, giraffes, zebras, whatever, can come wandering in. Whatever. And when it's dark at night and you can't see very well, it's easily, after having one too many to drink, to run right smack into the backside of an elephant. So that was quite a birthday surprise, and that ends my story titled Drunk as a Skunk, an Elephant Story.